Hey, Viking fans, this is Keith Millard, and you are listening to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. Go Vikes!
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. I'm One Bar with Lupicus, and this is becoming one of my favorite episodes. I'm not going to lie, it's mailbag time.
I love it because I don't look ahead. I don't know what's coming. My answers are coming off my heart and off the cuff.
That's why they're usually fairly shit. But let's see if you could redeem yourself. Once again, a lot of questions. Casey James, LS Gregor, Viking Jerome, SSM Creations, a lot of people. So
like
here we go.
Our favorites.
Let's just dive right into it with an LS Gregor. I don't know if he was drinking when he put this one in or not. I think he's commented about this guy a few times, but here's his question. Why isn't Audie Cole on anyone's list of possible veterans the Vikings could sign? He knows the scheme, has or had some skills. He was good on special teams. He is 32, but still has a couple of good years left. Like I said, I don't know if LS Gregor was drinking. I did look. Audie Cole's been out of the league since 2016 when the Vikings finally walked away from him. Nobody gave him a sniff, probably because he's Audie Cole, and this will never happen, LS. We love you, but this will never happen.
Yeah, if I remember right, isn't Audie Cole a little bit athletically limited? I was just checking. First of all, the age came to mind. Then I was trying to see if there was a North Dakota connection. To know Ellis Gregor loves his North Dakota boys. I don't see that either. So I don't know what's with this Audie Cole love. And I love Ellis Gregor, but this might be the worst question we've ever gotten.
No, it's the best question we've ever gotten. Audie Cole is the preseason stallion every year. He had like 7 interceptions and 12 sacks and just didn't contribute. So no, Audie Cole, not happening. Audie Cole is probably selling cars or insurance somewhere right now.
Hell yeah. Probably a hell of a salesman.
All right, let's move on. Let's see. What teams in the NFC do you think will be top contenders, and what must the Vikings do to make it over the playoff? Bad word coming up. Hump.
I don't know if they meant it as a bad word there. Yeah, well, NFC, this is going to be tough. The Tampa Bay Bucks are primed, ready to make another run. Tom Brady, he always wants to get another title, so they're going to be the hunt. I think San Francisco is going to have a bounce back year. Actually, the whole NFC West is freaking hard as hell from top to bottom. I really think that's where the competition is going to come from, mostly for the Vikings. And then obviously the Green Bay Packers if Aaron Rodgers comes back.
Rams will be an interesting one to see what they do with Stafford. But the main part of the question, what gets the Vikings over the playoff hump? I think the big thing is going to be the obvious one is the defense with all these new players. They need to come together by midseason and just be freaking gelling and playing at a very high level. If that defense ain't happening, it doesn't matter how many points we score. It is over.
Well, that's how you get to the playoffs with your defense playing the way they show with all this talent. To me, to get over the hump, which means to me to get to the Super Bowl, it's got to come from the coaching staff. I feel like in these big games with the spotlight on you, the Vikings just tend to fold. It happened under Zimmer. We saw it in the Eagles game, which could have just been a lot of the hangover from that Minnesota Miracle game. But I think they got to have a better game plan. They got to try to get these guys motivated, figure out something. I want to see some better coaching in these big games. I think that's where Mike Zimmer tends to fail, is in these big moments. So to me, that's where it's got to come from to get over the actual hump, which to me means getting to that goddamn Super Bowl.
All right, Viking Jerome with a very important question. Where does the name One Bar and Lupicus come from?
We really want to disclose this information?
Well, I mean, my One Bar comes from, I was a very highly recruited kicker in high school. I could have went to any college I wanted to, but I decided not to. So One Bar being the one bar on the kicker's helmet.
No, I believe your 7th grade coach called you a pussy because you can't catch.
That was a horrible player. But One Bar comes from basically Gary Anderson. That's it. There's no story behind One Bar. I just decided to call myself One Bar one day. That's it.
Yeah, and mine's a little more, I don't know if it's embarrassing. Maybe well, you know what this is. So yourself, me, my brother, we're all drunk. We decided to give ourselves nicknames. He was Mingosaurus. He went by the name Mingus, and he called himself Mingosaurus. You became the Falcodactyl. And I took the moniker of Snuffleupagus and was the Nickelupagus, which has been shortened to Lupicus, which is sometimes shortened to Lup. So that is where Lupicus came from.
Yeah, very, very lackluster reasons here. But you know what? They're here to stay. We are One Bar and Lupicus. So
it is what it is.
You have it. Question, thoughts on a hot take? DJ Wanham wins a spot opposite Hunter and finished the season with 10+ sacks.
I think him earning a spot opposite Hunter is much more likely than him having the 10 sack season. I'd love to see it, but I think it's going to be a big rotation. I think it's going to be hard for him to see the snaps required to get to 10 sacks. So I don't think it happens that way, but him being a starter is definitely possible.
Whoever wins it, DJ Wanham, I think anybody is on the table to get a 10-plus sack season opposite Hunter. Look back at the days of Ray Edwards. I mean, Ray Edwards wasn't overly fantastic. He had Jared Allen, had the Williams Walls. I mean, we got some pretty damn good players on the other side. So I think whoever gets that spot is going to put up a shit ton of sacks. So I think I love this hot take. I don't think it's completely off the table.
I think we're actually going to see, I'm going to say 3-4 guys have like that 5 to 7 sack number. That's what we're going to see.
Wow, that's a ton of sacks.
It is, but this should be
maybe even a
defense. Record. Well, I expect it. I expect no less.
If you had to choose, who is the higher priority to extend, the Hitman or Brian ONeal?
Well, it's Brian ONeal. He's younger. I mean, Hitman's, we got a couple years left in the league. Brian ONeal is still 20. What is he? 26-ish, something like that. Help me out here if you know. And
25.
He's 25. So you want to keep him here. I think Brian ONeal is a guy because his future is just longer than Harrison Smith's is.
Yeah. ONeal, no doubt about it. And the other side of this is, he says, which is the more higher priority? I think Hitman's in a spot too where you don't have to make him a priority. I think they're going to be on the same page to bring him back, whatever the cost is. So that'll just happen naturally, I think.
Well, and he already said it. He wants to come back. So he's already kind of short-armed himself. He said he wants to finish his career in Minnesota, and the Vikings definitely heard that. And I'm sure when it comes to negotiation time, they'll remember that.
All right. Let's see. If defense wins championships, what's going to happen when the Vikings offense runs into a championship type defense?
I'll let you start on this one.
I don't know. I mean, the Vikings defense is going to have to step up. Hopefully the team with this fantastic championship type defense has a unchampionship type offense. So Vikings are just going to have to do what they haven't done in the past and rise to the effing occasion. Bring their shit. Don't sit on their balls all game.
Well, our defense will also have to step up. It could be a defensive game, which means points will be at a premium, which means the kicker has to step up. Greg Joseph, Riley Patterson, whoever it is, that's who's going to win those kind of games. When you win 12-9, 15-6, something like that, it's going to come down to the kicker, and whoever has the most reliable kicker will win those games.
Do you guys follow any other Minnesota sports?
You know, we're both not hockey guys. We might lose some viewers because of that. I know everybody loves the Wild. I'm not a huge Twins guy. I'll watch it. I'll put it on. I'm gonna go to a game here in a couple of days, but I'm not a diehard Twins. I'm definitely diehard Vikings. And actually, if anything, I probably watch more Wolves than anything else.
Yeah, Twins, Wolves. I mean, the Twins are dog shit this year, like 10, 15 games out of first. Wolves always have false hope with that first top 5 pick. So definitely watch a lot of Minnesota sports.
Yep, but definitely not to the level we do with the Vikings.
No, that's not possible. Will Dalvin Cook surpass 65 receptions this year?
That's a good question. You know, what comes to my mind right away is how much is Alexander Madison going to get worked in? How many of those balls that could go to Dalvin Cook going to go to the tight ends? Going to go to Irv Smith? Going to go to Tyler Conklin? Maybe Kenny Ngannou sees a couple. So I'm going to say he doesn't get that 65 mark.
Yeah, the most Cook has had is 53 receptions in 2019 in 14 games. But I still think the lack of that true number 3 spreading the ball around. I mean, I know they're going to be getting into the tight ends, but extra game in there. I think Dalvin Cook could actually do it. I think he's going to see a lot of dinking and dunking.
I just don't know if it's going to be part of the game plan this year. We'll see.
Sure it will. Let's finish with this one. Ellis Gregor's back. He's going to end on a good note here after that Audie Cole. What non-Vikings player besides Larry Fitzgerald is your favorite?
Wow. Would you go ahead and start? I'm going to let this one marinate for a minute.
I know it's a tough one. There's a lot of guys I like. Usually they're players that we didn't end up drafting that actually turned out to be horseshit. Technically, Mike Nugent is still in the league. So Mike Nugent is very, very close, whether you like it or not. But I'm going to go with Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, he's just
that's
so damn good. And Minnesota Gophers, but him and Nugent, neck and neck.
Yeah, you're Antoine Winfield Jr. That is a hell of an answer. To me, I've always been kind of a tight end guy. I played some tight end in high school. I've always just kind of sympathized with the position. So I'm a big tight end fan, and this guy's a lot of fun. Travis Kelce is just fun to watch. He's a game changer. Seeing what he can do in that Chiefs offense. I love watching him play. And again, I do have a soft spot for the tight end position, so I'm gonna go Travis Kelce. But there's a lot, and I could probably think about 10 more if I really sit down and thought about this one.
Yeah, good question. Good question. That's our mailbag. Bag is empty. Bag is dry, or drippings are on the floor. Can't wait for next week's.
Fill your seat on the floor, boy.
Boy.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Empty mailbag feels good. I feel lighter. And this is this fact here you're gonna have to kind of follow, but it's actually very interesting. So stay with me on this one. If you replace the W in where, what, and when with a T, you get the answers to those questions.